Gaza, a narrow strip of land along the Mediterranean Sea, home to over 2 million Palestinians. It is a place of beauty and sorrow, resilience and despair. For decades, Gaza has been trapped in a cycle of conflict and humanitarian crisis. This essay will explore the daily realities of life in Gaza, delving into the struggles and resilience of its people. Gaza is a densely populated enclave with limited resources and restricted movement. The ongoing blockade and recurring conflicts have had a devastating impact on every aspect of life, leaving its inhabitants in a constant struggle for survival. Despite facing immense challenges, the Palestinian people of Gaza exhibit remarkable strength and determination. They strive to maintain their dignity and hope for a better future. This is their story. Imagine a life where basic necessities are luxuries, where clean water is scarce, and electricity is a fleeting visitor. This is the reality for most people in Gaza. The daily routine is a relentless struggle to secure food, water, and a semblance of normalcy. Families queue for hours at distribution centers, hoping to receive essential supplies. Children, instead of playing in parks, often scavenge through rubble for scraps to sell. The psychological toll of this constant uncertainty and deprivation is immeasurable. "We live in fear," says Fatima, a young mother of 3. Fear of the next bombing, fear of not having enough food for our children, fear of losing everything again. Her words echo the sentiment of many Gazans, trapped in a perpetual state of anxiety. Yet, amidst the hardships, life goes on. Markets bustle with whatever meager goods are available. Children attend makeshift schools eager to learn. Music and laughter, though muted, still find their way into the streets. It is a testament to the indomitable spirit of the human will to survive, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. The economic situation in Gaza is dire. The ongoing blockade has crippled the once thriving economy, pushing the majority of the population below the poverty line. Unemployment is rampant, businesses have shuttered, and opportunities for growth are scarce. The fishing industry, once a lifeline for many, is severely restricted due to limitations imposed on fishing zones. Farmers struggle to cultivate their land, as access to water and essential resources is limited. The few remaining factories operate at a fraction of their capacity, hampered by power outages and lack of raw materials. "I used to be a carpenter," says Ahmed, a middle-aged man sitting idly outside a closed shop. "Now, there is no work. No one can afford to build or repair anything." His story is a common one, reflecting the widespread economic despair that pervades Gaza. The lack of economic opportunities has fueled a sense of hopelessness, particularly among the youth. Many young people are forced to abandon their dreams and aspirations, resigned to a life of unemployment and uncertainty. Years of conflict and underinvestment have left Gaza's healthcare system in ruins. Hospitals and clinics operate with chronic shortages of essential medicines, medical equipment, and qualified personnel. The situation is further exacerbated by the blockade, which restricts the entry of medical supplies and prevents patients from seeking specialized treatment outside Gaza. Chronic illnesses such as diabetes and heart disease are on the rise, but access to adequate care is limited. Patients often face long waiting lists and are forced to make do with substandard treatment options. The mental health crisis, fueled by trauma and uncertainty, is often overlooked and under-resourced. "My daughter needs urgent surgery," laments a distressed mother outside a crowded hospital. But there are no specialists available, and the waiting list is months long. Her anguish reflects the helplessness felt by many Gazans who are denied their basic right to healthcare. The lack of adequate healthcare has had a devastating impact on the overall well-being of the population, particularly on children and the elderly. Malnutrition rates are alarmingly high, and preventable diseases continue to claim lives. Section 5. Environmental degradation, a toxic legacy. The environmental situation in Gaza is equally alarming. Decades of conflict and neglect have taken a heavy toll on the environment, leaving behind a legacy of pollution and degradation. The lack of adequate infrastructure for waste management and water treatment has resulted in widespread contamination of land and water resources. The once pristine Mediterranean Sea, a source of livelihood and recreation for many Gazans, is now heavily polluted by sewage and industrial waste. The air quality is poor, with dust from rubble and smoke from generators contributing to respiratory problems. "We used to swim in the sea every day," recalls an elderly fisherman, gazing at the polluted shoreline. Now it is too dangerous, the water is filthy, and the fish are dying. His words reflect the sense of loss and helplessness felt by many who have witnessed the gradual degradation of their environment. The environmental crisis in Gaza is not only a threat to public health, but also exacerbates the economic hardships faced by the population. It undermines agricultural productivity, limits access to clean water, and increases the risk of disease. Section 6. The Wounds of War. Scars that run deep. Gaza bears the scars of numerous conflicts. The recurring cycles of violence have left behind a trail of destruction, both physical and psychological. Homes, schools, hospitals, and vital infrastructure lie in ruins, a constant reminder of the human cost of conflict. The psychological impact of the conflict is immeasurable. Trauma, anxiety, and depression are widespread, affecting people of all ages. Children, who have witnessed unimaginable horrors, carry the heaviest burden. Many suffer from nightmares, anxiety, and developmental issues. "I still hear the bombs in my dreams," confides a young boy, his voice barely a whisper. "I'm afraid to go outside, afraid to be alone." His words are a chilling reminder of the invisible wounds of war, the ones that run deep and take years, if not a lifetime, to heal. The destruction of homes and livelihoods has forced thousands of families into overcrowded and unsanitary displacement camps. Living conditions in these camps are dire, with limited access to basic services. The lack of privacy, overcrowding, and uncertainty take a heavy toll on the mental and physical well-being of the displaced population. Section 7. International Response, a Call for Justice. The international community has long recognized the humanitarian crisis in Gaza. Aid organizations provide essential services such as food, water, and medical care. However, these efforts are often hampered by the blockade and the volatile political situation. There are growing calls for an end to the blockade, and for a just and lasting solution to the Israeli-Palestinian conflict. Human rights organizations have documented numerous violations of international law, and have called for accountability for alleged war crimes. "The world cannot remain silent in the face of such injustice," states a human rights activist. "We demand an end to the blockade, an end to the occupation, and an end to the suffering of the Palestinian people." Their pleas for justice and accountability resonate with many around the world who are appalled by the ongoing crisis in Gaza. While international aid provides a lifeline for many Gazans, it is not a sustainable solution. There is a need for a political solution that addresses the root causes of the conflict and creates conditions for peace, justice, and prosperity for both Palestinians and Israelis. Section 8. The Palestinian Spirit. Resilience in the face of adversity. Despite the overwhelming challenges they face, the Palestinian people of Gaza exhibit remarkable resilience and determination. They have endured decades of conflict, displacement, and hardship, yet their spirit remains unbroken. In the face of adversity, they find solace in their families, their communities, and their unwavering faith. They continue to celebrate their culture, their traditions, and their identity. Music, poetry, and art flourish, providing an outlet for expression, healing, and hope. "We have learned to find joy in the smallest things," says a young woman, her face beaming as she watches children fly kites on a breezy afternoon. "We have learned to appreciate the simple things that life has to offer." Her words reflect the spirit of resilience that defines the Palestinian people. Their stories of resilience are a testament to the indomitable human spirit, a reminder that even in the darkest of times, hope and dignity can prevail. They serve as an inspiration to us all to strive for a more just and compassionate world. Section 9. Hope for the Future, a Long Road to Peace. The road ahead for Gaza is long and uncertain. The scars of conflict run deep, and the challenges are immense. However, amidst the rubble and despair there is a glimmer of hope. The international community is increasingly aware of the plight of the Palestinian people. There is a growing movement calling for justice, accountability, and an end to the occupation. The Palestinian people themselves, particularly the youth, are demanding a better future. They are organizing, mobilizing, and raising their voices for change. "We will not give up," declares a young Palestinian activist. "We will continue to resist, to fight for our rights, to build a better future for our children." His words echo the aspirations of a new generation of Palestinians who refuse to be silenced or defeated. Achieving a just and lasting peace will require tremendous effort, compromise, and goodwill, from all parties involved. It will require a commitment to dialogue, reconciliation, and a shared future based on equality, respect, and dignity for all. The dream of a free and prosperous Palestine where children can grow up in peace and security may seem distant today. However, it is a dream worth fighting for, a dream that sustains the hope and resilience of the Palestinian people in their long walk to freedom.